week we're reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. As always, we do these reviews in 5 different categories. Each category is graded at 1 through 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Can't go lower than 1, can't go higher than 5. Best a game can get is 25 out of 25. Lowest a game can get is 5 out of 25. Because, hey, they at least put in some effort. The 5 categories are graphics, the way the game looks, sound, the way the game sounds, including music and special effects and sound effects and special effects, gameplay, the way the game actually plays out, fun factor, that how much enjoyment we had with the game, regardless of how good or bad it was, and challenge, the overall difficulty of the game and whether or not we found it to be enjoyable to play for the challenge or lack thereof. So with that, we're going to go to Matt. Matt, start off the graphics 1 through 5, kick us off, and we'll see how the game tallies at the end.
All right, as far as graphics are concerned, I do like them quite a bit. I think it's a nice blend of the comic book style graphics for Ninja Turtles as well as some of the cartoon. It's a nice. I like the nice blend of that here. I like the animations and stuff like that. I think they're very fluid, very solid. The backgrounds, especially, are probably my favorite aspect of this, and how much is going on back there, and how they represent different aspects of the franchise. Um, Everything, yeah, that's and if I had to give an overall score for that one, I would probably go with, say, a solid 4, I would have to say. When it comes to sound, the soundtrack's okay. I could have gone for a there's not too many memorable like tunes here that are really going to stick out to me, especially for Turtles. Sound effects are stock, but they work, and they're not like overbearing or bad or anything. Um, I would have to say probably a 3 is where I'm going to land on sound. When it comes to gameplay, especially with fighters, I think they come from two different worlds. It's either you're mashing the button to do something, or you're kind of pacing yourself back and forth waiting for an opening. And I think with this one, I feel like it's very much so the case in this game. And I think it works in that aspect because it gives you a lot more strategy to how you approach each fight. And I didn't have too many problems. I just think that some characters, there's a little bit of unbalance. I think some characters are overpowered, whereas some it kind of hampered a bit. So it's not perfect, but not bad. I would have to say I'll probably land on a 3. Fun factor, I had fun with it to a point, but I think that there could have been more here. Could have done a lot more with what you had, but still enjoyable. It's just once you start ramping up difficulty even by a slight bit, it just the balance there just doesn't make it as fun anymore. So probably we'll stick in the average mark here and go with a 3 as well. And challenge, I like, again, it comes down to that balance factor, and I found it rewarding to a degree because I am a fan of the franchise. Everything I like, you know, I like the experience itself. I felt overall was good, especially for me. Some nice fan service, felt worth it in the end. So probably no lower than a 4 for me on that one.
My turn. Graphics, I am kind of in a more indifferent spot. I felt this was more of a Street Fighter clone, which obviously that's what it was. They were obviously trying to copy Street Fighter. And I kind of, that was the trend for the time. It's still the trend to copy games. And I think originality usually lands higher for me when it comes to graphics. So I'm going to give this a 3. Sound, I didn't have any real complaints, but it also wasn't very memorable. Again, it felt like, you're listening to stock Street Fighter music, not specifically anything Turtles related. So I kind of felt that was a giant disappointment and a huge whiff, but it's still competent. So it gets a 3. Gameplay, again, it's a straight up Street Fighter clone from Konami, which is ironic because Capcom did Street Fighter, but whatever, it's Konami. It works, but it's not anything special. You're not going to be playing it for the super realistic gameplay or the out there over the top move sets. So, I can only give it a 3. As far as fun factor goes, there's some enjoyment when you're looking at the game for the first time. But I'm not that big of a Turtles guy. But even I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? They went with a lot of characters that didn't make any damn sense. No one was sitting here going, "Hey, yeah, I really like that one Bat dude, Crazy Brains or whatever his name was. Yeah, he's my favorite character, so I'm gonna give it a 2. I just didn't care. And then challenge, I found it really easy, and not only easy, I found it very kind of dull. So it was easy and boring. So I had to give it a 2. Overall, though, that gives you a 15 out of 25 because once you combine our scores and you split them in two, it gives you a 15. And then we take that and we divide that out of 25. And that gives us a stop not working 60 out of 20 out of 100. So that basically makes it a game that you can definitely play. There is obviously the stat right there on the top left screen to tell you where the 60% actually falls and what the official dubbing of that 60% is. So, with all that being said, we're done for this week. We'll be back next week for another edition of the GameCorp Retro Review. I'm Chad. He's Matt. Check us out at realnerdcorp.com. Follow us on Twitter at NERDCORP. And as always, happy gaming. I hate that.